Yeah, we've been partial,
Ain't
punctual. Excuse me.
no
For
CP time around these parts at all.
yeah, we've been punctual for the last 12 weeks.
Hmm. Yep. I
So
think
you
we're
ain't
doing
looking.
good. So what you think about this 15? What we gonna do something special at what 15 or 20 episodes in?
Let's do 20. Let's do 20. That way we can have time to
That'll
get it
give us
together.
some time.
I
Okay, so
definitely think we need to
that's
do some.
another 8 weeks from
We
now.
should,
Two
yeah, we
months.
should do some in person, man. Bring some people in.
Hmm.
That'll make the environment better. We can get some feedback,
For
and
sure.
yeah,
Look at him. Look.
he already trolling. I ain't even got no head.
Troublemaker. What's up, Ricky? Thank you for joining us today. Troublemaker.
My boy early.
Yeah, man. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're on
You
time.
know,
I mean, if you're early, you're on time. My drunk ass. Yeah, man, this gonna be an interesting show. I feel like it's gonna be like real life thugs that chime in when they hear about this because they're
man,
gonna
you
have
know
some
what? I was
grievances.
on my way home. I was driving. Like, man, I should start hitting some people. Like to.
Because
And I
there's a
said, no.
lot of people that can relate. Now, me, I am a self-proclaimed civilian. Even when people be playing with me, talking about nah, the kid, I'm like, nah, I don't take no mess. And back in the day, I used to be scrappy or whatever, but I do not consider myself a gangster by no means, because in my opinion, that requires me to get it out the trenches. And I don't like getting nothing out the trenches. I'm not eating boiled bologna. I'm not eating spam.
No, see, I don't.
I'm
That don't
not.
have nothing to
I'm
do
not
with
in a what is it? A white wife beater for six,
it.
7 days, no bath, hustling.
You ain't no
I
ride
wouldn't
or
do
die
none
chick,
of that.
what you saying,
I ain't earned nobody stripes, okay, and I am
But
content.
listen, that's the problem. A lot of ain't nobody earning nobody stripes no more.
I
That part of
know,
the game is
but they
dead.
gangsters.
CB.
Hello, Blanks Crystal. I'm gonna assume your name is Crystal Blanks, but you don't like you don't want your coworkers to find you online, so you put it backwards.
CB. That's the Blade Runner right there.
Welcome.
Gaither.
Hey, thank you for joining us, Miss Ma'am.
And definitely got a shout out to Slicky Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky. She said correct. I already know. I don't be wanting my coworkers to find me, so I'm
You
gonna
don't want
use
no
every
parole
name.
officer to find her.
I'm gonna
That's
flip
all.
my name, reverse it, use a different name, because they
She
be
don't want
looking
no
for
parole
you.
officer to find her. That's all that is. She on parole.
Hey, Kayla, thank you for tapping in. Tap, tap, tap in. Hey,
Yes, indeed.
gonna let y'all come on in here into the church, because you got to enter the church first. The ushers got to come and sit you down
Everybody
for
say
the sermon
amen,
start.
amen. Yes, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ricky
Yes.
say, I'm a gangster. Got it straight out the mud. Been
Oh my
slaying crack since
God.
the fifth
I'm about to tell your
grade.
business, Ricky. You need to stop that.
Ricky say he's a
Now, I ain't
straight up
saying he's soft.
thug.
I ain't saying he's soft by no means, but
Hmm.
gangster.
So let me ask you this. So
And Ricky light skin. Ricky light skin too. So you already know.
all
They gotta
gangsters
go extra hard.
are all gangsters hard and thugs? I mean, like tough.
Ahmad Jennings. I'm on probation,
I hadn't
just
seen a
sitting
mod in a
listening.
while. What's up? What's up, mod?
So that's what I'm saying. We're gonna have some people that actually can relate to this, that's gonna tap
Yeah,
in. Because today, for those who don't know, we talking about snitching.
snitching,
Gonna tell it, tell
snitching.
it.
Go tell it on the mountain.
Is you gonna tell, or is you gonna
Yeah.
stay down? Hey, Si. What's up,
So
Si?
let's cut it in. Goddamn.
Okay, so you
Snitching.
wanna we're
Now we'll
gonna
give
go
it a few more
ahead.
minutes.
Okay,
We'll
you gonna
definitely
let
let a few more people come in and be seated.
Yeah, man. I feel like this is gonna be really interesting because I have my input, but this for me honestly is gonna also be like a learning type of conversation, because I need to know what the real thugs, like the real thugs. Cause see me, I'm just a thug that may fight if you approach me wrong and step to me, but I'm not
Yeah.
like
See,
going just I ain't got no shooters or nothing yet. I gotta shoot for myself.
I'm a
I
squad.
don't feel like I got no weight on me like that. I gotta do a lot of stuff myself. That's why I
I'm a
try to keep
squad, so
cute
I'm
and
talking
stay out
from
of
the
stuff.
sideline.
Yeah, man. You know, I know my lane and I stays in it. But
Yeah,
I
so
need to know
that's why I'm talking from the
what
sideline.
I want to know what qualifies as snitching. I want to know, when is it okay to snitch, or is we not telling at all? What should be considered when telling on people? All of that. I need for you guys to educate me on the street life a little bit. I like to be educated on it. I don't want to be in it though, you know.
Yeah, you want
What's
to know.
up, Jot? Welcome, welcome. I'm here. Definitely my topic. Before I became spiritual, let's just say I'm okay. Certified. Stripes. Hey, Adonis. What go down? What's up, friend?
What's up, fellas? What's up? What's up? So he
If
said
you
he's certified.
he said he done put in work. Put in work.
Hey. But
What
this
they
is
call
almost
it? What they be saying? Lord. Yeah, it's called put in work, right? Am I
well,
right?
you got to put in some
You gotta
work.
put in work, right?
But
Okay.
I'm gonna say, you know, the meaning of
respect.
this shit is the meaning of everything has changed so much, and it's so
Okay.
watered down.
Do
And
you
then
shake your
too,
head at these fake thugs now?
man, you know what? To me, honestly, God's honest truth, like it hurt my feelings for people because not because they fake thugs, but because like after you get older, you start realizing like, man, none of this shit worth it.
Right.
So it's not the fact that you like a fake thug, like, cause they're all faking, you know what I'm saying? Like one time I caught my kids drawing blood signs on they like in fifth grade. So I went in the room and got you want to twist your fingers up? I'm bringing all of them back. You goddamn, you want no blood
Give me your
signs? Give me your hand, fella, because you don't know nothing. You can't even turn up there and war. Yeah,
It's
you know,
trendy. It's very trendy.
it's trendy.
And see, that's what I remember. So growing up, I remember now. Everybody that know me knows that, you know, of course, I'm not originally from Houston. I got here in 94. I was 10, but I've been here long enough to be considered a Houstonian. And the first neighborhood I lived in was Southwest Side, Fondren, West Airport, Bob White. I lived in that area.
You were living nice. That was a nice area at the time.
Yeah, well, no, not even then. It wasn't, because I stayed there back when that Kroger was there and they had that shootout at the corner. And I think everybody heard about that, that stayed on that side of town. They had a shootout at the Kroger. It was on Fondren and West Airport. So it was kind of rough. But I still, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't consider myself being out there. So at the time, we didn't necessarily get into it with people behind gangs. It was more so your neighborhood.
Right,
so I
right,
know
right.
Southwest Side, and like at the time I was growing up, Southwest Side and Harlem Clark so-called had a beef because, you know, they was like right there. The train track basically on Main Street used to divide the two, because, you know, you had aristocrats, you had
the crack, baby.
You had the bricks, which was
you talking about something now.
Yeah, I know a little something. So everybody was like beefing over neighborhoods, but not necessarily gangs. And then at Yates, you know, you had 3-2. They got to it, and then sometimes they was cool. But it wasn't, even if people were in gangs when I was growing up, it wasn't really just talked about like it is now. You had cliques going up to battle, and you had neighborhoods going to battle. North side versus south side, of course, that ongoing. But it was never this whole, you know, it's bloods over here, and then and if you go to South Park or Sunnyside, it's blue, and it wasn't that back when I was
right. Yeah, well, that's starting to brew something kind of new. It's like you always had. So let me explain. Let's start from the beginning. Like, so the Southwest Side was a nice neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And I don't care how you.
I don't know if it was nice.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you my philosophy.
Compared to others, because it was
compared to others. That's what you got.
Belford Village and all that. Because y'all was around like
spots. You got spots. Because you got to think Houston is made up of places that are nice, and then you might have drop. You know, because of FDA type shit, you'll drop a ADA Culture Act. You'll drop a apartment complex in the middle of a nice neighborhood. Sure. So let me say the Southwest was a place that you moved to when you got money. Like, so when all the hustlers start getting money and having kids, then you move to the Southwest Side. So at one time, you wasn't getting no respect from being from the Southwest Side because you were from the Southwest Side. but
like, y'all ain't had no stripes,
Y'all had no stripes, but
even with like bodies and stuff being found in like greenhouse patio and all that, like in the 90s, because I'm talking like mid 90s, I was out there.
Didn't I tell you that the gangsters moved to the Southwest Side with their kids? So you still got But gorilla in the mix. It's just that the babies are growing up in a different environment, but the blood of the gorilla is in the babies. So that's why you start seeing the Southwest Side get wild, wild, wild. You know what I mean? You had because what's in you come out through your kids. As much as you try to be nice and see. So the Southwest Side turned into another hood, but originally when you get to talking about 90s and definitely 80s, and it wasn't like that. But you got places like Spice Lane, you got
Spice Lane. Now see, it was a difference too. So we considered Spice Lane the SWAT. You had the Southwest Side, and then you had SWAT. You once you cross Beltway 8 and you over there on Bissonnette and all of that on the other on the west.
Why you think they divided themselves? Why you think it was different? Because they was gangsters and everybody else wasn't. So there was
there was BDs over there. I do know that for a fact.
Them niggas was gang members over there.
You know, you go over there. Definitely BDs. Them
niggas gang members over there. But gangs was to me wasn't prevalent. Like I never even had a person approach me and say, "Hey, you want to be down with the Bloods? You want to get down with the Crips?" And my cousins are Bloods and my cousins are Crips. They from the Southwest Side too. So, but that wasn't never a thing. I had enough problem fighting niggas from
I definitely ain't fighting over third ward. Right.
So, but that's new. That's new. So, but you know, even that I question: does you being a part of a gang make you like what's that do? You know what I'm saying? Like me being me. I can ask you what that mean, because that don't mean shit to me. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean to nobody I know anyway. But
nobody that got good sense.
Nobody got good sense. But for a person that don't know how it really is, you'll think, oh, since they're blood, that these people are this, that, and the third. But I don't know. It's a bunch of aching and faking going on. It's a bunch of this love and hip hop Atlanta walking around these H-Town streets. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of
and then we also live in the age of the internet era. So you know, back in the day, if you really had hands, like some people actually saw you, witnessed you get out there in the mud, get out there, tussle, do whatever. Now you can like build this fake persona.
Well, you know what?
You can get you like a teardrop and go and hang around or hang among.
So he killed somebody.
And they automatically think, oh yeah, he down. He got his little stripes or whatever. So it's a whole lot. It's easier to shake and fake. Way easier to shake and fake now. You got your Twitter thugs, your thumb thugs. Lord knows.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this new era, these young people that we saying crazy, is because we've been talking to them about. Just like you saying, y'all don't do nothing but fake behind the keyboard, woo, woo, woo. So our kids,
they just feel the need to, but they don't fight either though, Frank. They don't fight like we used to. They get it done quick. You know, we used to get out there and then
they addressing that. That's changing. I got a 17-year-old and a 16-year-old. When I go through their phone, all I see is porn and them squabbling behind the school. Like they recording, they getting it in. Boom, 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 boom. Everything that we say, y'all ain't do, y'all faking, y'all this, y'all that. They listen. Okay, so we don't want to fight. I'll fight you.
And they feel the need. They feel the need to prove something.
But
they're still faking because you're not even doing it at that point for like a reasonable reason. Back in the day, we fought because it was like literally like I had fights because people would be waiting on me. Like I had no choice but to fight. I'm not changing my route to the bus stop. Like we was put in certain positions where we had to do it. Like you just had
bunch of my troubles came from I thought it's just the way it was. Like you know, I explained to my son the other day about, hey man, everybody don't have to check. Some people report to the side, let them know the scenario, and then after that, then it is what it is. But hey man, you know, it ain't like what you're trying to say. You know, it's this, that, and the third. But I wasn't even gonna give you that, you know. Shit.
Yeah,
if you bother me, because I ain't gonna bother you, but if you bother me, it is what it is. But
absolutely, I'm not from Chicago. I'm from the East Coast. I'm from what they call Bad News, Virginia. So where Allen Iverson grew up. I always gotta tell people that because people like Newport News, Allen Iverson, Michael Vick. I feel like a lot of cats come out of Virginia that's a little crazy. Chris Brown. Virginia just has this thing.
You know what? Y'all got
we're a little bit ignorant. We country, but we a little bit ignorant. We probably like 2 hours.
I used to be in the DMV all the time. I don't know. I don't really remember.
We're not far from the DMV area. So
they were good to me out there.
Yeah. Oh, he talking to somebody. Okay, so let's get into the topic. So the topic, like I said, no snitching. The first question is the no snitch rule amongst gangsters and Tekashi 6ix9ine. So I think for those who kind of like follow my page, everybody know I do the little teaser. Me and Frank put together like a little teaser for y'all, so you guys can follow along with the topic and actually have some content to relate to the topic. And Tekashi 6ix9ine has started doing a series of interviews with different people, pleading his case. Long story short, he claims that he's still a G, but the reason why he snitched on the people he snitched on, regardless of the G rule, G code, whatever, is because they just weren't the best of friends. They, slept with his baby mama, jumped him, took somebody for ransom, I think threatened his family members, weren't really good, quote unquote, friends or gang members, whatever. But, I guess the opportunity arose where they got jammed up in some legal stuff and he told on them. And so he's coming to the forefront to speak on that. So I just kind of wanted to know, Frank, what do you feel in regards to, if you gangster, we're going to talk about later on in the show the difference between maybe a gangster and a civilian, because clearly there's two sets of rules. I originally
I agree with that.
Had this obscured, unrealistic thought process that nobody should snitch in the hood, but clearly now it's been brought to my attention after kind of looking into this topic that if you're a civilian, it's probably okay. If you a gangster and you doing hood shit with hood friends and you kind of sign
you want to do
the honor amongst thieves type thing, you ain't supposed to say nothing. So
well, listen. So you got the WAC 100 interview with 6ix9ine. So this was all this kind of start back brewing again because the 6ix9ine situation is old. But so WAC 100 say 6ix9ine was a civilian, so it was okay for him to snitch. Like, I don't agree with that, because you can't pick and choose. You can't be a civilian when it get real and a gangster when nobody's around. So you're a gangster. You got all this tattoos on your face. You chunking up, was it 6 straight gangsters? You're supposed to be a blood. Okay. You know what I mean? So what is it gonna be? And you got to pick that before it get real. People can't come to fight you because you're from the Southwest, and you be like, no, I'm really from Virginia. I'm really from Virginia.
I can't help that my mama moved there,
Yeah, you can't be from both. So I don't agree with what 6ix9ine saying. I don't agree with what he's saying. I don't even agree with what WAC 100 was saying. Yeah, if you're a civilian mean that you don't have nothing to do with none of this stuff that's going on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Civilian doesn't mean that you come outside and shoot at people, but then when they shoot back, you say, "But I ain't even no blood," or you indulge.
Yeah.
But that's today's climate, though. Mm-hmm. Today's climate, everybody it is what it is, and I said what I said, and then you slap the shit out of them, then it's you assaulted me, I'm calling the police. No, hell no. Keep it is what it is.
Yeah.
Because this is the downside to what it is, and this killing our community. And if you talk to me, I'm gonna tell you I'm a hypocrite. Mm-hmm. Because I they call me Pastor P, so I'm gonna shoot it to you on some, hey man, we need to ride together, but I damn sure I ain't tripping about getting it funky.
Let me ask you this, and please don't implicate yourself in nothing. I'm not telling you to implicate yourself.
Why the hell would I do that?
No, I'm just saying, even in the past, if you was involved in anything because I feel like we have a lot of people, luckily, this is a great thing, who used to be involved in things and they evolved and they decided to do better, change their life, be squares. I do feel like everybody has the opportunity to wake up on a different morning and decide they want to do better. And I feel like at your big age, when you in your 30s, 40s, yeah, you definitely don't need to be still embedded deeply, you know what I'm saying, into hood activities and hood shit, especially when you're able to get out of it. Because in my opinion, when you doing quote unquote gangster shit, when you under the age of 21, 25, you're basically that's pretty much the only choice you have. But the key is to hustle, save your money, stack your bread, then open up a business, go legit, clean all your money.
Right.
Whatever you need to do a little bit of racketeering, clean your money, get your money clean, money laundering, clean it up, and then lead the game. That's my perspective,
right,
as to why people do what they do. So I do feel like it may have been a point in time where guys was in a certain lifestyle and they was doing hood shit and they was that was the rule. So in my opinion, and like I said, I'm a civilian on the outside looking in. So this is merely my opinion. I'm not saying this is Bible. I really can't even speak to what I would do or wouldn't do. But in my opinion, I do feel like even for me, if I put myself in a position to do hood shit, like right now, if my homegirl called me and say, "Man, the kid, I got a lick," we could go ahead and do some like credit card shit, blue, because the bitch like nice shit. Now, if she hit me up and say that, and I decide to do it, in the event we get caught, I feel like I don't need to tell on nobody because I literally signed up to do some crooked shit.
Do this shit.
So
right.
if I get popped and my homegirl don't get popped, I'm not gonna say nothing. And it don't matter. People are like, "Oh, you got a kid." I knew I had a kid and all of that to lose before I got into the shit. So I'm not about to implicate my homegirl because guess what? I had the option out the gate to not even be a part of it. So I do think that is kind of fraud for anybody to even if you ain't on no gangster shit. If you just doing credit card fraud, scamming, and all of that, I feel like it's really fraud and ass backwards for you to then decide once you get jammed up, oh, I'm gonna tell on everybody because you simply didn't need to be a part of it.
But you were a part of it. You still a fucking credit card scammer. You just a snitch.
And I feel like that's real weak when people do that because you literally have the choice, especially when you're not like a teenager. You're not a teenager, so at a certain point, like peer pressure should be out of the window. Like once your frontal lobe,
you're an adult. You're gone.
Once your frontal lobe fully develops around the age of 25 or so, a little before then,
long before then for the street guys.
Clearer. You have a mind of your own for sure. And you shouldn't even be able to be peer pressured into doing something you don't want to do.
I don't think people peer pressured. I just think that you choosing to get out the situation, like Boosie's saying. You just got, you just. I will appreciate more of this if you snitch and be like, shit, they were trying to give me too much time. I snitch first. Opposed to being
it's still in the wrong if you signed up for that lifestyle. But I get it.
But I'm saying, opposed to being a 6'9", act like I don't think what I did was wrong. Because first off, he talking about they slept with his baby mama. You telling me you are upset that somebody slept with a willing partner? I mean, they ain't rape her, they ain't taking them from her.
Yeah,
this was a consensual. This is a consensual. No, it's just a convenient excuse.
Yeah.
Because if you went and did a credit card scan with your friend, and you still roll with her over there to Macy's to go swipe that credit card. Well, you couldn't have been too upset with her. 6ix9ine was still around with these cats. 6ix9ine was still doing shows with these cats. 6ix9ine still had these cats around him. But all of a sudden, once y'all get popped, well, hey, this the day to work is late.
You do the crime, you do the time. The best thing you can do, the best decision you can make is to not even be a part of it. Because hell, I'm not gonna lie. Throughout my lifetime, I've been presented with some shit because I knew some people. I commingled with probably people I shouldn't have commingled with, and I've been presented with opportunities to be a part of a lot of BS. But because I was like, listen, first of all, I'm, no,
I can't go to the feds. I don't want to go to the feds.
My mama already told me she not getting me for certain stuff. My mama,
well, you only get you once.
She'll come get me for assault before she come get me for stealing.
That's only come get you once is what I feel. I come get you one time. If you my kids.
She leave my black ass in there,
Shoot, my mama wanted to come get me bad, but she had a $10,000 bun, so that was out the option. So that ain't buy no rice in China. That ain't buy no tea in China. What you want to do? Let's go to the comments before we get to blaze into some more joy.
Let me see what's going on. First and foremost, hello to everybody we wasn't able to speak to. What's up, Kia, Adonis? Let me see. Darian.
That's my boy D. Right there.
Darian. Let's see what Darian has.
Let me plug my lawyer right quick. That's my lawyer right there. So,
Esquire.
We jump on the phone and if you need it for but he gonna tell it like it is. And I've been in situations where I can call him next and
so he probably has a lot of input on this particular subject, man.
Yeah, but he'll tell me all the time, say, man, they talking. It ain't what you think. People not gonna keep it the same way that you think. So his perspective on it is totally different.
Okay. So let me see. Darian said, seeing some of the hardest gangsters in Houston, tell it on the mountain. See, they in the paperwork, snitching happens. I think it depends on your involvement in the activity. Snitching for a time cut ain't the same as snitching to save a life.
Totally different.
Interesting. Adonis, listen, I ain't advertising no info. However, I ain't doing no time to obtain street cred that I can't buy nothing with. Hey.
But are you out there doing the things that you do in the streets, Adonis? That's the question. You know, are you out there being a gangster or a street guy or a fool? Because a lot of this stuff, I really like this. This to take a while, but a lot of this stuff doesn't. It's not the same. You got hustlers. That's not the same as gangsters. You got.
See, now I saw that, and I know we have to get to that later in the show because I do want to know what people think and what you think is the difference between a civilian. Well, we know what the difference is between a civilian, but a hustler and a gangster is.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be quick right now. Listen, so a civilian got nothing to do with none of this, right?
Okay.
Which is which is that's what it is. But you got people that's hustlers that only hustle. You don't hear about them doing no robbing, no stealing, not in nobody else's business. Then you got people that's what they do.
Yeah.
So you even have the hustlers, like gangsters. They don't go rob certain hustlers because they know, hey man, these people don't even get in the mix. They don't bother these people. These people just hustle for what they need. You'll go see a lot of the robbers go rob robbers that act like they hustling, and it's deeper
and
than.
Then you have some people, and I ain't saying I know them no more. You have some people who only go after corporations. Because they feel like, their whole mindset is they got the insurance to cover whatever.
You got to have a little sense and a little nuts to do that. Because we'll battle each other, but we won't battle nobody else. So we'll get to that.
I know a few people who battle corporation quick, but
yeah, most certainly. And a lot of those people that battle corporations, they not even a thug, and they're a civilian too.
And that's their logic behind it.
They're a civilian too, and they get the least amount of time as anybody.
Yep, white collar crime. So Jock says, "Ha now." If you in the streets, then ain't no snitching. Don't matter the involvement or who it is. And yes, a lot of glorified gangsters are snitches.
Just because stuff happening don't make it right. Because 6ix9ine on the internet was like, well, they disrespected this code. Bro, you still got to follow. Like if you're gonna be a stand-up guy, you're gonna be a stand-up guy. Or accept that, hey, I ain't no stand-up guy.
And I mean, he definitely had the option and took the option of snitching. You always have like no one's saying that you're restricted because once you go behind them closed doors into an interrogation room or on the stand, you're gonna say whatever you want to say. However, it is consequences for every action. Because of who you so-called proclaim yourself to be. Proclaim yourself to be a gangster, whatever. You knowingly got involved with certain things, then it is what it is.
I was more upset that he was kind of wondering why people were mad at him. And I don't think people per se are like mad at him, like, oh, I hate 6ix9ine. It's just the fact that it's the situation, it's the scenario. But how you acting as if you don't know why these people are upset or why these people feel like you're a snitch or why these people are shooting at, gunning at you in the comments. It kind of like a wolf in sheep's clothing. You want to act like you, he on the interview with Whack 100, acting like a little boy. But whack, hey, but whack. No, man, listen, you talk to him, address him like a man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, dude. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. I'm from the South, man. I don't really know about no Whack 100, but I never would see a Jay Prince sit down with no 6ix9ine.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I don't say that with no disrespect. Yeah, I don't say that that's what I mean. Well, I don't say that with no disrespect, but certain shit you don't even entertain. Like you don't entertain.
You just call a spade and you handle them accordingly.
Yeah, you don't go sit down with somebody that just changed 10 families. You know what I'm saying? You just changed 10 families to keep your one family together. And but you ain't even with your baby mama because she done got some of that black wood. Now she don't want no Mexican no more. So
well, damn.
Yeah, get to the comments, man. I'm sorry.
Well, damn. Okay, Darian. I was a vice lord for a semester in 7th grade. My daddy was a cop, so I had to resign. He said I got it out the mud and got right back up out the mud.
Hey, man, make sure you put your number in the comments, man.
Ahmad. 6ix9ine has the feds around him, so nobody gonna touch him. I mean, that's probably true. Definitely don't change his actions. What's up, Bashir? Bashir said facts. I'm guessing it had. I noticed that came up back when we was basically saying if that's the life you choose, then.
Hey, let me ask you this: how did you get Bashir out of that name?
I know that's his name. That's why I know his real name. I'm not about to say James Ziggy.
Yeah, okay.
I know
I'm
his
just
name
making
is
sure
for
I ain't
sure.
tripping. I've been on that scotch, man.
No, I know that's his government.
Okay, cool.
Gerald, what's up, Gerald? When children, women, and elderly are hitting the crossfire, that rule goes out the window. Well, see, and that's a good point, Gerald. So here's the thing. Based on, and I always got to say, based on what I've heard, what I've seen OGs talk about, women and children should be off the record anyway, from my understanding. Regardless of what's going on in the street, what kind of beef a person got, what kind of beef a man has that's affiliated with those women and children. To my understanding, now I know a lot of people, especially, unfortunately, like in places like Chicago, even in Houston, we see kids get caught in the crossfire all the time. But OGs that I've heard discuss this, women and children already should be offline anyway. So I would think that could possibly be like an exception. And if a woman or if a woman or children,
or child,
unfortunately, and you did dirt, you either gonna turn yourself in or let them know, hey, you got to go do this time, because while you was out here on this bullshit, like a gang leader or somebody should be like, while you was out here on this bullshit, a OG should automatically say, nigga, go turn yourself in, because as a result of your bullshit, you done killed this woman and this child. Now I don't think that's how it go. I see that's how it go down in like shows, but I doubt that that's how it go, even though that.
I couldn't get my comment out. I was about to choke. See, a lot of this a lot of stuff that you got caught up is coming from TV.
Yeah.
So a lot of motherfuckers don't even know no real street guys and a lot of, my saying is this. I tell a lot of people, the reason the streets messed up right now is, I'm gonna just say my neighborhood, Third Water's messed up right now, is because once you get some money, you move to the southwest side, right?
Yeah.
So everybody shifted to the southwest side. Yeah, previously, right. So previously you moved to these nicer neighborhoods and raise your kids away from all the stuff that you drive back to and feed every day. So who was in the neighborhood giving game to, who the OGs that's really out there giving game to these people every day? It's a nigga that couldn't leave the streets.
Yeah.
It's a nigga that's stuck in Third Ward. You're not out here because you're hustling. You're out here because you're pretty much homeless. Because whoever you stand with wants you out their house and they go to work at 8 o'clock. You can come back when I get home. So you're out here all day acting like you're really having something. But if you were really having something, would you still be there? Hell no. Nah.
And so this is who they basically looking up to, unfortunately.
And this is who you're looking up to. And does the average person tell you, girl, hey, man, listen, I'm a bum. I'm a low life. Don't do this. I had one person my whole life, to tell me to sell drugs. You know how people like, man, well, you grew up in the hood. I never had nobody like say, man, go get you a half a quarter and you better go. Ain't nobody really encouraging
play football, get up out of this shit. Yeah.
And, sometimes you got to do what you got to do because the environment you come from, but people not pushing this like how they try to put on movies. And a lot of your definitions of what these people are movies. Because back to like what you said, where you kind of grow and evolve as a
I would think most people I surround myself with, because I don't tend to just be at my big age surrounding myself with like gangsters and stuff. And if I did, I didn't know that they were that way. I assumed that they had grew up and evolved. I made that mistake before, I will admit that. But most of the people I don't knowingly get involved with, especially men at this age, even as a platonic friend, that's still out there thugging. Now, I have friends who used to be that way, and now they're doing better in life. So those are the kind of individuals that I can surround myself around. And personally, I admire those individuals because they still got that kind of street sense. They're not completely naive, but they also know how to turn their life into some positive shit, evolve. And now they like medium ghetto, not all the way ghetto, but they medium.
Yeah, but it's hard too. Like you see a lot of women post like they want the Russell Wilson and the Future, and you can't. That's not realistic. You know what I'm saying? You'll meet a few people, very slim people. That how do you make it if you?
But when you say, did you say Future?
Yeah, Future and
I've seen Moneybagg Yo and Russell Wilson, but this is the thing too. At some point, you got to kind of question, not discrediting Moneybagg Yo, but is he really ghetto? Because again, with these rappers, I feel like they just hang around people that's hood. Not saying he ain't probably like a little bit hood, but
yeah, you might be ghetto, but that's my point. You only get a certain percentage.
Not even be that way behind closed doors.
True. I definitely won't vouch for it, but you only get a certain percentage of people that really live. Like how we said, the code switching. You know, that's a big switch to hit from you to be able to walk in the ghetto at night, but then go to corporate in the daytime. A lot of people don't do that. Yeah, TV show you that. You know, you seen this dude Ghost from the movie, but that ain't real. You know what I mean? That's a very slim margin of people. Most people that's in the hood, in the ghetto, you know, that's thugging and hustling ain't always the same thing. Most you have some niggas that's hustling and they thugging, but you don't make enough money. You don't do enough to go live this lifestyle that people really think that you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most people that sell dope in the hood make just as much money as people going to work. You just make just enough money to do what you need to survive. You don't really, you know what I mean? If you look at pictures and
you're making probably the same 55, 60K a year that a person that's
that's
working.
That's right. Just mine just tax free on this side. But if you look at pictures, at pictures and watch the run. The average dude on your Facebook got pictures from when he was having money. These people don't show current everyday pictures of you still living. I joked with my partner. I was dressed. He said, "Man, you dressed like an old nigga that used to have money." I said, "Shit, I just got this shit." You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit, I ain't got no money. This shit new to me. This shit new to me. But you know, you wear the old Gucci's and the old for the polo shirt, or you see niggas with a throwback. They put up all their pictures when they was in Rock Rebel or when they was all in Coogee. But you don't see everyday pictures, and that lets you know that everybody get their time. But it's not a consecutive run like they show on TV.
It's valleys and peaks for sure.
Valleys and peaks, man.
So now I have also heard this rule too, like back maybe 2009 or something. So I'm so happy that now people are kind of like speaking out on this whole thought process of the no snitching, and they're classifying who can snitch. Who can't. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember at one point in time, it's like, no, don't snitch at all. If you a civilian, a gangster, don't nobody say nothing. Now, hold on, wait a minute. If I ain't do the shit, like I ain't asked to be a part of this bullshit, like as a civilian, because a civilian is basically, based on what I've heard in the discussions we've had, that's basically somebody that did not sign up for the bullshit. So if I didn't sign up for the bullshit and y'all get the flying past me, bullets flying, I got my baby with all that. Who did it? That nigga, Mr. Nigga over there. Because listen, you almost took me out behind your BS and I ain't even asked to be a part of it. But it was a certain point in time. And I think it's still like a little small amount of people who don't have a whole lot of common sense or rational thinking to them, who kind of feel like, nah, if you in the hood, you don't say nothing. You don't tell nothing because the police against everybody. They don't like you either because you black, like you this, so you that.
Again,
so you be on our side. The gangster
that come from TV. That come from TV. But this gonna sum all that up. This gonna sum everything up. If you're in the streets and something happened in the streets, you know, I mean, I'm with some cats, and this is like 2 years ago, and these young dudes, 20, 18 years old. So they telling me about it. I'm like, say, man, go back and get your guy. You know what I'm saying? Stop all that jumping out and shooting at the store and shooting all these people.
Go for that person and that person.
Go. That's right. Go get your guy. You know what I'm saying?
Be any collateral damage.
So the thing is, if you in the streets, if something happened in the streets, that's where it got to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something. Nope, that sum up the whole thing. You'll see now. This is something you will see. Like you think about your uncle got shot or your uncle got robbed. He'll say, "Who did it? I don't know."
Mm-hmm.
You can see the lie in his face.
Hey, I didn't even do that before. I remember I did that with a fight. Principal,
you was a gangster, baby.
I already knew. I wasn't though. I just knew. I already knew in my heart of hearts. No, I want her. I want to get her. So when the principal say, "Who did it?" I have no idea.
I don't know.
All right. If I see you after school, I wanted to get them myself. So I get that. I get that.
Right.
I get it. All right, let me go back to these comments, man. What else you got to say, Frank?
And hardly any, you know, why you queuing up comments, hardly anywhere in any land do you see people disrespect, like, quote unquote civilians, like an old lady or a kid. Mm-hmm. You couldn't.
It's happening more now, unfortunately. I mean, like these people still walking up to old people, punching them. I'm like, what kind of shit?
Yeah, it's a different way. But see, you couldn't do that. And I mean, everybody our age and older, you can contest. Yeah. When I was coming up, I would be in certain places, and they would
bully. One thing I tell people about Yates, we didn't even let people bully people.
No, you wasn't gonna do that, and the old people weren't calling the police.
Yeah, I have to explain that to like people I work with because they tell me all these, you know, of course, people I work with predominantly white, and they tell me about all these bullying situations. I'm like, to be honest, I feel like at our school, if you fuck with a person that never fuck with nobody and somebody saw that,
getting on your roll,
we don't, leave so and so alone. They don't even come fucking with nobody. Like,
that's
what you doing? I done seen that all the time. So it's a certain level of accountability that I appreciated about the school we went to, the neighborhood we was in. Like, it just didn't rock. Now, I don't know if that's happening there now, but
things are changing because, like I say, like my kids, I don't really talk to my kids about life that we know it. You know what I'm saying? So opposed to my mama, she would be straight up with me about a lot of stuff. So a lot of stuff with my kids, I wasn't straight up. So at 12, I could match what I'm learning in the house with what I'm seeing outside. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like, oh, this is so surprising. Oh, you know, I had
You didn't go through culture shock.
It wasn't a culture shock. Yeah, the word it wasn't culture shock. So, and then too, I kind of had a person telling me what's reality opposed to what's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, these aching and faking. But you'll see a lot of grown men still out here chasing, like, want to be rappers or want to be this. I seen a podcast like 2 months ago, and this cat was saying how fake the world is, and I'm like, I'm listening to him because this is my conversation with.
It's social media. Social media, definitely.
This boy say Rick Ross got people talking about how much dope he sold. Like every song he talking about running keys, selling keys. That's fine too, because I know I had a partner that was a correctional officer that was taking more dope in the prison than niggas selling on the street. So that don't mean nothing.
You're right.
But he say, man, this dude out here wearing Gucci, and he a 3 or 4X, and Gucci don't even go in that size.
Well, I mean, now wait a minute. I gotta stop you there. I know fashion designers, Frank. You can
unless Gucci design it. No, that's not a Gucci
Dapper
jacket.
Dan. Look at Dapper Dan and like
unless Dapper Dan make it for you. Unless he make it for you.
As a somewhat fashionista friend.
Okay, talk to me.
As a somewhat fashionista, you can get like official Gucci fabric sent to these tailors and they can get made.
That's not a Gucci. Nah, that just that was me getting the Gucci on my Nikes in high school. Was them Gucci shoes?
Yes, because you got them custom made. If the fabric
we were knocking off. No,
you can literally, from my understanding, you can literally go on the Gucci website. You can get a certain footage or yard of fabric, and that too is sent to like tailors and people who can sew the fabric together.
I don't believe that.
And all them other people. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. This is my point.
Or Gucci Smart. But we digress.
If it wasn't made by Gucci, if you can't walk in a Gucci store and buy it, it ain't real.
Oh my God. So what? So fat people don't deserve Gucci?
I didn't say that, but they don't sell it for us fat ass motherfuckers. Well, I'm talking about me, myself, and I. Yeah, every shirt that I put on the Gucci, if it's a 2X, it fit like a meat. Like I'm not getting in it. Go ahead, run the comments.
And Frank, quote unquote, fat niggas don't deserve Gucci. That was his
say, man. We just wear the cheapest shit.
Oh yeah, I'm hip to how they bang there. It's folks in y'all there, Mississippi.
Talking about your Virginia joints.
Yeah. Ahmad 6'9" was the dude off Malibu Most Wanted until things got heated. That is a great depiction. You are definitely right.
What it is. Yep.
Don't be hating. Face that. But she said agreed. Adonis, you know the consequences when committing a crime when you at your big age and or a parent. Facts. When you commit a crime, if you decide that you want to jump down, you got to shut up. 6ix9ine set them up. The label mustered them boys out of his life.
Yeah. A lot of them cats got 20 years, 30 years, 15 years. So they got a bunch of.
That was another question of mine. So I didn't know that. How much time did these people supposedly get?
So they got fair time 20. So what I think honestly happened is the fair. Oh yeah, they got like 85% majority. So they got time, and that contributes to you snitching too. These people got time because you were here faking like if you were. And I got another point, but I'm gonna let you finish these comments too.
Okay. Adonis, listen, I'm Nigerian, so I've been around a myriad of scams and know how to shut the fuck up. Hello. I mean, and this is with any crime, racketeering, money laundering, white collar crime, assault, robbery. If you decide to jump down with any of that, I really in my heart feel like You pick the be in that if y'all get jammed up.
Did you see the biker gang? It was the biker gang. I don't know what they call them. I forgot. But this happened in Dallas like since COVID here, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. It was like 106 of them. Mm-hmm. Nobody talked. Nobody opened their mouth. Here go my ID. You know my name. Give me my charge. All the charges were dismissed.
See? Yeah, everybody stick together. But that's what they signed up for. And you really can't do nothing but respect that. You can't do nothing but you literally signed up to be a criminal. Like, why are you talking? Why are you talking? Yeah. I don't care if you got a family or whatever at home. You literally, this is what you signed up for.
Well, most of the time, that's why you keep your circle small, because most of the time, your conversation is giving them what they're missing. They don't have what they need. So you just set up and, hey, be quiet.
Yeah.
It is.
Hush puppy. So 6ix9ine was Jock. 6ix9ine was never a street dude. So for me, real life old school, 6ix9ine would have never been allowed in our circle.
That was my next point. That was my next point.
Anyone in the streets knows 6ix9ine wasn't a street dude. So I'd say 9 Trey allowed him to do. He was still a square. I get it. So to accept him to uphold a code that's not for him makes no sense. I shake my head and 9 Trey, if anything. Real motherfuckers don't make dumb ass mistakes like they did. Well, there it is.
Let me say, hold on. So that was my next comment. I was trying to let you finish. Let me go on this rant right quick. Okay. So I blame them cats for the situation, because to be in the limelight, they did anything, they allow anything to come around just so they can be in the mix.
Yeah.
So you can be in the mix and probably not even having money, just to be around the money, around the mix, around rappers, around this environment. You allow that, you decide to kick it with a sucker.
Yeah.
So it's the price you pay for fame.
It go both ways, basically. He knew to shut up, and they also knew not to even let him infiltrate.
In certain shit, you got certain friends, you just let them know, say, man, we'll be back.
This ain't
don't
for
mean
you.
You're not my friend. Don't mean that, hey, say, man, we'll be back. Because we know when you get in this situation.
I knew people like that back in the day. Hey, Nakia, this ain't all right, cool. And I don't argue. I don't want to.
Brothers and sisters, you'll be like, no, we're not going to take him. He going to tell mama. Nope, we ain't taking him. Nope, you got to stay here. We'll be back.
Mama, where y'all was at? Well, we ended up going by the corner.
That's right.
We stole some shit.
That's right. Before we can even do something you done told.
Yeah. All right. Saida, wait. So if you snitch, the laws put you snitching paperwork. Oh yes, sis.
Yeah.
You literally. I think is it okay? So let me ask you this, Frank, and correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't documentation? Ain't that public records?
It's public records. Especially they big on it in the feds. Like so in the feds, it's huge. So you
can order the paperwork and documentation from a case side. But go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, I met this cat, they call him J5, he's an old school cat. He done like 20 years in the feds. Mm-hmm. And one of my partners had got shot 5 times. This is my first time meeting this cat. And we chopping it up, we talking this OG and my partner in the bed, we just talking. And I said, yeah, my uncle name is such and such. He said, oh yeah, he a rat. And I said, damn, man, you know what I'm saying? I used to say, yeah, he'll snitch. Boy,
they do not, and that's another thing that trips me out. So my civilian brain, it tripped me out because first of all, I'm not even gonna say the guy name because I don't put spotlights on people. But recently, it's this cat, well known. I follow on Instagram. I think he in a lifestyle, but I follow him because he's silly, kind of crazy, cuckoo. Y'all making use y'all context clues. Anyway, in the Houston area, something happened. Somebody told something on something, and he had what was called a paperwork party. Printed out all the documentation from the case because you literally can go on like Harris County's website and it's like the court documents or whatever. You can pay, and I know you got to pay a certain fee for them, but you can pay.
Yeah, it's like $6.
Yeah, it's not a lot of money. You can pay and get all the paperwork for a particular case, and they implicate snitches in that paperwork. It literally says so and so stated blah blah blah. That alone for me. If I decided to be a gangster and be in some stuff, if that's okay. If I decided to be a gangster and do some stuff, right? That alone would like make me think twice because
let me tell you this:
they're not protecting your identity.
Well, some people they do. Some people they do. But you got some people that's like I would consider dry snitching. You don't get in the paperwork. You might not never make it to the paperwork, but like, hey. While y'all over here messing with me, if you go around the corner, the kid got 2 books at her house. She So you got a lot of people that snitching that never make it to the paperwork, never make it to the court system, never make it to the extreme of being told on, but they out here still dry snitching. So in the feds is huge because in the court case they do put your name out there, blah 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 blah. But you got a lot more people out here who are telling, who are working with the police, that's in the streets every day, being a street dude or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But you really a hoe, you know what I'm saying? Scotch done kicked in now, so.
Well,
the scotch kicked in, so I can't even sugarcoat it no more. You know what I mean? You still
it's gonna come out however it come out.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see what else Jock got to say. We finna go through these comments. Jock, yeah, you can't be a gangster and a hustler. A gangster won't fuck with certain folks because where they from. A hustler gonna get money regardless. Nah, that's facts. That is facts. They gonna get money with the ops if they could get money. Listen, corporations get what they deserve.
They got insurance now, don't they? They can handle that.
They got insurance to cover whatever we get up out.
And they screwing somebody too, you know what I
mean? Jock. Wack is one of the big dogs for real. So he can do stuff like that without real backlash. Okay.
Well, see, hold on. Let me go back to that for me right quick.
Okay.
Because I don't believe in that. I don't believe just because you the OG, you get to do certain things that don't make sense or that ain't right. That ain't with the code. You know what I'm saying? I understand his sit down with 6ix9ine because.
Did you think that he gave 6ix9ine too much leeway by even having a sit down? Like it was counterproductive.
Yeah, man, that was
like he a little nigga. Let's ignore him.
And I watched the interview and what I was waiting on them to say is that you can't do this again. They never told 6ix9ine that you okay, this happened once. It can't happen again. So you mean to tell me he can keep acting like he Malibu's most wanted and keep getting people caught up and then keep going back and say, hey, I'm not really a Crip. Look at my last video, I was in blood. So that's the only thing I hated about the video, because you think you got little kids, you got people that's watching this that's impressionable. You feel like you can say, hey, I can be in the mix.
I can flip-flop.
I can flip-flop. And that's not the impression Wack trying to give, but that's what they gave because you never told them, hey, you can't do this no more. We ain't going to be forgiven no more if you do this again. You kept saying, hey, he's a civilian, so he can tell. Keep telling.
Well, he did kind of say, now, I did watch that interview. I want to say I maybe watched 2 hours of it because it was a long interview. It was a 3-hour long interview. But I did hear Wack basically say, like, you get what you get. Kind of like if you go to certain cities, I know some people who going to get at you. And it is what it is. So is that in a sense kind of like, you done messed up, and
I think that was
talk to you, but it's some cats that's like on site basically.
Yeah, but you see, he kind of got funky when they was talking about the Slauson and Crenshaw thing. That kind of touched him. He kind of got aggravated like niggas supposed to. Mm-hmm. But I think he was more talking about how 6ix9ine is going in these neighborhoods and taking pictures like he really out there. He's still giving this impression on Instagram, which young people look at. And like, yeah, 6ix9ine.
Look what I
6ix9ine went to Nipsey Memorial and said, fuck Nipsey. Yeah, but if anybody been to Cali, they know that normally it's nothing but 60s out there.
Yeah.
So you like the White Cat said, you picked the time that was safe and went out there and made it seem like
at 9 a.m.
Not even that. You probably went out there at 5 o'clock in the morning when nobody's out here to check you. So is that real? No. Why would I even talk to somebody that feel like you can do some shit like that?
Yeah.
If this cat was anybody else and didn't have a platform, these people wouldn't be talking to him. I don't even feel like Holmes news because you pretty much shine a light to what he wants, to something that's not reality. It's fake. Like, dude, chill out.
You gave him life. Yeah, I'm big on ignoring people that just be talking and shit. Like, so I know for a fact that it would have hurt him more had people not giving him a platform and let the streets, whichever streets it may be, the streets of Chicago, LA, Atlanta, whatever, let whoever get at him. So,
and what I did like is that the White Cat was letting people know that a lot of these rappers ain't good, ain't gangsters, ain't thugs. You are the people a lot of times that people was putting money behind, so you don't have to be a thug, which is good. Like, I don't know why everybody feel like it's cool to be a gangster. Like, it's cool to be.
Yeah. You don't have to be
IT tech. I mean, you just
like I used to tell people back when I quote unquote used to get out there and fight and stuff. People just to hang. You don't have to fight to hang with me. Like if that ain't you, that ain't you. Be you.
Right,
Be the purse holder. You can be the purse holder. You could be, you know.
But my thing is this:
like, yo, I gotta go. It's okay, but you
this
know.
My thing is this: when we trying to rally up, say what we finna go do and who all finna do what, making understood that hey. I don't be into all this. You know what I mean? That ain't me. That ain't me. Yep. But that way, when we get there, we know that you don't count.
What
tell me
boy say? What Trey said on Boys in the Hood? Hey, drop me off.
Straight up,
drop me off.
People miss that. People miss that. Yeah. That's right. People miss that part of the movie. The dude say, "Hey, let me out.
Let me out.
Let me out." They never said, "No, you ain't one of the homies."
And no boy looked back at him. But he was like, "Let me out." He ain't want to be a part of that.
You can and listen. That's the way you keep your Kool-Aid the flavor you want it. Because you get people that's in the mix that know, hey, this gonna be strawberry when we finish. Oh my God, I was expecting grape and
lemonade. They ain't no lemonade.
So because you gotta understand, like your life depends on a lot of these mistakes that people are waving off. Yeah, that shit funny. We're having a conversation about 6ix9ine, but you got some people that ain't finna see home or see their 2-year-old kids till they 23 years old. Mm-hmm. And then it get real. Like once you start putting it like that, it get real. Like and you can say
he decided last minute that wasn't for him instead of.
And then you can also say like, well, they were committing the crime. Yeah, you were committing the crime, and it is what it is. But a lot of their crimes got more. They got more time because of the situation. So if 6ix9ine wasn't in a lot of their time, they'd have got 5 years. If it wasn't for the 6ix9ine blowing the case up, I'd have got 8 years, 12 years. Now I got 22 years. So not only did you go snitch, you inflated this situation. So now I'm in jail double the time.
Ooh, cold world, no blanket. But like we talked about, you gotta watch who roll with you. But I'm gonna assume everybody on here squares. We all civilians, and now at least we
right. I'm a civilian.
All right, Bashir said that stands for January 12th, so that's some fly shit. All right, January.
That was kind of fly though.
Yeah, and I know that he is an artist. Check him out. I'm gonna go and plug him in. Gentleman's Table.
Do that.
Tap in every Wednesday. They got a podcast as well. Hey Kim, what's up? Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your attention.
You got a bunch of friends with like anonymous names.
Different names. Don't nobody want their coworkers finding them. We got stalkers around this camp, man. You gotta I just don't believe in using the government on the good old social media. It's
carry on. Church.
All right, Job. Women and kids definitely off limits for sure. Adonis, shit. When them Colombians killed my uncle in 91, everyone in that house, women and all, got killed except my baby cousin 2 years at that time because he would sleep under the cabinets from playing around at the time. A lot of people don't go by that. Let old folks and women make it. That's true, and it's unfortunate.
Well, you can't go by that if you come in the house to kill it. Listen, so there's two things I'm gonna say. Most people that get paid to kill somebody kill the person that they're coming for. Mm-hmm. But the second thing is, if you're old enough to identify me, why would I let you live?
Yeah, and I know that's how a lot of gangsters think. That's true. That's crazy. It's unfortunate. So as women too, I feel like even as women, and I'm big on this, at this age, smart, common sense being implemented into my daily regimen. I do not believe in, I don't care how much money he got. If I'm with a man and he got a whole bunch of money, give me all this stuff. If I'm not sure about them sources of money, just how he move about, and I ain't saying I got to know all your business, but unfortunately, a lot of men are just very greedy and they're not considering their family and their family's well-being, or just people just surrounded by them in the event something goes wrong. For that very reason, am extremely cautious about who I date. I don't even ride in the car with everybody no more. Oh, babe, let me drive you to such and such. No. Because if I don't know what you're into, I can't be collateral damage. My kid
but
can't.
You kind of bad and bougie anyway, though. You kind of bad.
But that's just, it's certain prices I'm not willing to pay. So I'm glad Adonis brought that up, because even when you talking about these so-called gangsters, if they're dealing with their loved ones are civilians, they definitely have a heightened sense of danger because of what their other loved ones involved in, and people don't consider that. So if you got a gangster that snitch, and that go back to kind of what I wanted to talk about, because I think that was one of my last topics I wanted to touch on, because I posted a video for anybody that was able to follow the content I posted in regards to this particular show.
You do a good job at that too.
Oh, appreciate you. But Lil Boosie stated that snitches are selfish because when snitching, they put their loved ones at risk. And do you agree? That's pretty much what I wanted to ask to close out the show. And Adonis made a very good point by bringing that unfortunate, chain of events up, because we have to consider too, is my brother, is my, significant other, is my father, uncle. I'm a civilian, but if they're in this lifestyle, even if I'm being provided with an amazing life as a civilian, it don't touch me. There's always that risk that you could be collateral damage. And I know now I consider that. I've watched way too many crime stories where everybody was whacked in the house and had nothing to do with nothing. You don't even know why you got shot. So
just there.
And it could have been because your boyfriend then told on somebody. So while he away.
Oh, look at the guy with Nipsey. The guy with Nipsey that killed Nipsey. They said I don't know how true it is, but they were saying that they've been attacking and killing his family members.
See?
So you got, yeah. Which I don't agree with. I don't agree with because
I don't agree with it either.
You don't go touch on nobody that's not in that don't have the ability to come and kill you back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't think that's fair. You don't go and do harm to somebody that's not. Everybody got a gun. Everybody can get a gun, but everybody don't have the conscience to go kill you. So if that person is not in this, but if you say that you a thug and a gangster, then I feel like it's this. But like you can't go kill his mama. And
so Adonis says civilian means associated with criminal activity by proxy. To be honest, it could, it could mean that. So that's something to be considered. And that, like I said, tied into what Boosie kind of said. He really I understood it. Anybody that's snitching, you do have to take into consideration who all could be put in harm's way. Now it's different if you're single, no kids, just you don't talk to your family. Of course, you're not gonna care because you're the only one that can pretty much be affected. But me, for instance, even as a civilian, that's something I would definitely consider. So say, for instance, I witnessed the crime. I'm not involved in crime, but trust, understand, and believe. If the police come to my door, the first thing I'm going to think about is my kid. I'm sorry. I don't care who got hurt in the crime. This right here has now come to my doorstep. This mess has now leaked onto me, has spilled over into my life. I'm going to consider what I tell the police because I live here every day. My child lives here every day. I'm not putting my child's life in danger for no stranger. Sorry that person got whacked.
Meet me around the back. I'll tell you what happened. Leave me your car and I'll call you.
Sorry that person got whacked, but it's definitely something I would consider. So, yeah.
But on the flip side of that, somebody family has lost a loved one and you don't want to tell it. So that was a question that they brought up when we kind of threw this.
My kid in danger.
When we thought this teaser. When we brought that teaser out there, that was kind of something that we talked about. Like, okay, well, what if something happened in your apartment complex? You seen the car. You could kind of tip it. You know what I'm saying? You can do.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna be a little bit offended, given that I wasn't involved in the situation. I might be a little bit offended that they even came to my doorstep. Like, nigga, don't. Like,
but that's what they do. They don't want to go fuck with no gangsters. They want to try to harass them.
Hey, Mr. Officer, Mr. Nigga, listen. Hey,
Mr. Nigga.
Mr. Nigga. These people see you by my door. They're gonna assume you talk to me. The next knock I get is gonna be somebody who was involved. And listen. I just want to eat some cereal and watch YouTube and watch Hulu.
But they trying to catch the Negro that's outside shooting. So next Saturday, you can get up and watch PBS with no trouble, man.
Shit. So yeah, man. And this is one of the reasons why I knew the hood was not for me as a big adult, because these things happen. Like, these are scenarios that civilians who are not even involved in crime always have to consider. If you even like, I know I got a Ring camera. I know when
it's too stressful.
If you got a Ring camera, if you got any of that shit by that scene, trust and believe them officers, HPD, whoever coming to knock on your door. Hey man, we know so and so happened, and your
This camera don't work. This camera don't work. This camera don't work.
Cause I ain't getting shot for nobody. Now. So it's certain things that I'm sorry.
Man, the shooter didn't even live over here. The shooter didn't live over here.
Man, listen. I
Jamie said she's
that.
Yeah, Jamie said she's calling the hotline.
Hey, you better do that shit anonymously. Let me get to this comments because baby. Let me see, Jock. Now I came up different. I'm never saying nothing to the laws. It is what it is. I'll never help the laws or the government on shit, even if someone came at one of mine. I'll handle it myself. The laws will forever be a bigger enemy than the next man. I know a lot of people think like that. Can't tell you that it's wrong or not. You know, it is what it is. Oliver, if you don't say, what's up, Oliver? First off, thank you for tuning in. If you don't say shit, they don't know shit. Street code, if you not in them streets like that, you will tell. Yeah, pretty much. What's up, Charles? Thank you for tapping in, man. I'm gonna go through these other comments, see what y'all talking about on this issue. Shane, used to be a street code. People don't follow that anymore. It's a lot of street codes people don't follow. Charles, real talk. That's how it's supposed to go. Don't bother. What'd he say? Don't bother anybody who isn't bothering you. Facts. And he stole the real Rick Ross name. Oh, yeah. Rick Ross is not the real Rick Ross. I think we all ended up at some point or another watching that documentary. Tripped me out. Came out a few years back. Rick Ross was like, for those who don't know, I think the real Rick Ross was like a drug trafficker or something of that nature, West Coast. And a rapper stole his name. Not the first time it's happened. They take the Gucci fabric and put it all together. Facts. Adonis, they make it when you got the coin. Nene Links. This is about the Gucci fabric. So we got it. Gucci can be made for bigger people. Okay. Shane. Yeah, kidnapping is about 20 years. Nothing happened to those bikers because nobody told. Somebody passed the collection plate for these preachers. Oliver, and the feds is big shit. Yeah. Adonis, I agree, Frank. That's millennial thinking, though. We believe in holding everybody accountable versus those before us. Yeah. Those before us definitely just going after whoever did whatever they did for sure. Hey, Aunt Rochelle. My daddy said only three can keep a secret if two of them are dead. Daddy was an OG. Turn your mic on, Frank.
Just talking up a storm. I'm just talking up a storm. Anybody will hear that?
Like your lips moving. I'm like,
yeah. You know, that's what that's what my stepfather, my stepdaddy, that's what he taught me. You know, he always, there's a lot of stuff he would tell me that didn't make sense. He would tell me, you kill anybody over 4 feet, and that didn't make no sense to me until I got old enough to realize it was funny. You know, until like you're old drunk just talking. Then once you get old and start living the life, you start realizing, oh, these things people are telling you is for a reason.
Yeah. I think the sit down is actually forcing the industry to keep it real. Walk is old school, and 6ix9ine is airing out a lot of these fake gangsters that mainstream folks try to ignore. Jay-Z, head of Rock Nation, is an FBI informant. Oh, wow. There is a lot of pick and choose. So I think Wack is using this to air out all of these fake folks, possibly.
Yeah, he did call out a lot of people on that interview, a lot of rappers.
He did. I noticed that. Oliver, when you're a rat and snitcher, you need to be dealt with accordingly. If you think you're a thug and gangster, there is no coming back from that. You will get what is coming to you, period.
Yeah, I mean, right. Don't nobody forget.
And his relevance will diminish. Absolutely. That's why it's important to vet from folks before they come
into your mix.
Yep.
Yeah, you were talking about hanging out with people and riding with people.
Hey, Jamie, what's up? Drop some fire. Drop some fire, please. Alexis, dang, I'm late. No, you ain't, baby. You can play it back. Thank you for coming. Better late than never.
For sure.
They be killing the wrong people. Shane, it's true. They killed a couple of cousins and things of that nature. Yeah, man, that's crazy. But, you know, like I said, you got to be mindful of when you're an adult, you got to be mindful of who you surround yourself with because civilians do be collateral damage. Adonis,
yeah, that's another reason. Be respectful too.
Yeah, that's another reason why I'm cautious of what pics I post on social media, family members. Yeah, you gotta definitely, you don't want to be like tied to people who feel like, oh, I gotta go get him because he family or whatever. Yeah, they kill everyone in dude family. That's crazy.
Talking
Alexis,
about
if you're
the Nipsey situation.
oh damn. Alexis, if your beef is with a particular person, get at that person. Why do a drive-by and hit everyone except your target? You would think that, but you know, people are vindictive, man. People are vindictive. You even hear people, especially like when you talk about the cartel, they have a belief in killing the whole bloodline just because they feel like genetically, if this person is a certain way and is disloyal, oh, it's all he disloyal all the way down to his grandkids. Let's kill everybody. Cartel is big on killing the whole family. So
Yeah, I didn't know
and
that.
that's their thought
I don't know
process.
about this cartel.
Yeah, you know, I be watching I don't know personally, but you know, I be watching my little narcotics documentaries on the History Channel and the MS-13 and all that. I be needing to know
So
what's
the
around me.
moral to this story is just stay in your lane.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you know, a lot of people like to answer Lex. A lot of people just want to say that they came back and threw a strike.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we be like, yeah, we went over there and did this. Oppose. Oppose. If you see a lot of the killing now, people are getting up, going. It'd be broad daylight. You know, they killing you in the middle of everybody. So to let
Yeah.
you know, and that's why you got a lot more people in prison for murder because they want everybody to know, or they
Yeah,
get on
I
Instagram
did.
and they say, "Hey, we did
Yeah.
it." But I prefer you to go get your lick back directly,
Yeah.
opposed to just doing something so you can get on there and say, you know, we up one.
Mm-hmm. Look, Jamie says, so it's snitching. Is it snitching if you happen to witness a murder? I mean, that's the thing. They have all of these different rules, Jamie. Like we talked about it a little bit earlier, but I'll touch on it one more time briefly. They basically are saying that if you're a civilian, you're okay to snitch because you didn't sign up to be a gangster or being even involved in that mess. Whereas if you're a gangster, you signed up for that. You got to shut up because you were part of the crime willingly. Now, like I said, if I witness something, even as a civilian, I still have to be very cognitive of who all can be affected by me cooperating or helping the police. I got to think about myself. I got to think about my seed. I would even be hesitant for one, like I don't come into my door after something happened because you know whoever is with that person who was involved in whatever crime happened, they're watching all of their surroundings. Say for instance, the police is seen coming to my door. Even if I don't say nothing, at that point, I could potentially be implicated, and my family and myself could be targeted. So it ain't that I'm, scared for me. It's not just me though. So you just gotta
And you
shit.
ain't
Don't
have you
live
say
in the
you ain't have
hood.
nothing to do
Don't
with
live in
that.
the ghetto. More of the
Oh, but it's
story.
happening there. Well, man, them crazy white folks is the ones that's doing all the.
That's true. But I'm
Let me scoop
saying,
my seat up.
don't
Shit.
live to avoid certain things. Live in a rural area. Your house need to be like 30 feet, like 30 meters from another house in a
Yeah,
rural
you need
area
to
in the
have your
woods.
space.
You ain't
I didn't
seen
see anything.
nothing.
I didn't know they
The
were dead.
trees
I'm
and the
sorry.
raccoons was in the way. I didn't see nothing.
That's right. I didn't even know they were dead. My
Charles say, yep,
condolences.
let's be careful talking about this subject matter. It's almost like snitching.
Sending my
Alexis, now I'm
condolences.
honestly against the shooting and killing. What happened to fighting? Take a W or take a L and keep it going. That was our generation, though. They're not like that no more. They can't fight. You hear it on these songs. I ain't doing no fighting. I'm shooting and on the mumble rap. They not doing it. They're not fighting no more.
Jamie say she hitting that high line. Hitting that high line.
What's the one for Houston? 713
222
snitch.
tips. It's been the same since we were kids. Same as we were kids. I'm still waiting on the $4,500 check right now. It's been the same.
Now if there's some money involved, I might yeah.
Well, they pay you is what they say on the news. I don't know if they really send you the check, but
Alexis, people only implement the no snitching policy when it doesn't pertain to their family. That's true. That is true. Because of course, if you got a loved one that got hit, you want somebody to tell. But
just say something.
I guess I just see it from both sides because I've heard so many stories of innocent people wanting to help, and the police do not protect them, and that be the shit that pissed me off. Excuse my language. It pissed me off because if you got a person helping you, you should go out of your way to protect them, and they do not. So it's a catch 22, man. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It really is unfortunate. So when we get to some more of these comments, Kia speaking of snitching, is that little badass boy still pissing on your door? No, he is not. And I caught him mugging me not too long ago. So y'all, I had a little boy I caught on the Ring camera peeing in front of my door, and I told
him, he gonna get you.
I told on him. Somebody told me when he grow up, like he gonna
be a big gangster when he grow up.
Him. It's whatever.
He gonna be a big gangster when he grow up.
Run up. He can run up if he wants to. I got mace and all kind of stuff. I'm gonna say, get your pissy ass.
Yeah. He gonna get you.
Get stitches. Doc, now not the first 50 stole his name from the real 50. I heard that too.
Yeah. I mean, he's an entertainer. He's entertaining.
I'm gonna have to go with the idea that 95% of these rappers are not the OGs. They may have been in the proximity of the OGs. Like even with Jeezy. So I don't know about Jeezy, but I know that he was the BMF and all that. But he may not have been doing all that.
And then too, BMF had 100 people around. So where were you with BMF? Like, were you in the club with him or were you in the trap with him? So it's a bunch of questions that you can ask when it comes to.
I feel like the rappers are not the gangsters. I feel like gangsters. I feel like gangsters don't even have like social media. Like real gangsters, real mercenaries, real shooters. They don't even have.
But I think this is my rule of thumb. If the streets can say something about you, they gonna say it, right? Mm-hmm. So if you ain't heard that this person's not a gangster or this person is faking or this, then it's almost gonna be the reality, because if the streets can say something about you, they don't forget. You know, you be 20 years later like, oh yeah, you ain't talking about when you got caught with that boy, or you ain't got caught, you got beat up in the alley. You know, you ain't talking about this. So if the streets ain't saying nothing about you, then you can almost be, it is what it is. Because if the streets gonna talk about you, it's gonna be mentioned. Because, you know, remember, these people can make a fake page and talk about you. They don't got to show up. They can talk about that situation at Yakes that time when you got drugged. You don't talk about that.
Yeah. Now, because it really happened back in the Gap. But now you can basically, like, I think I want somebody to do, I think it would be really cool if somebody did like a social experiment, like a really geeky, smart psychology major did a social experiment, built a whole fake idea around him and just went on social media and posted. I bet you people would think he was a real gangster.
I agree, because perception is reality.
I would love to see that as a social experiment play out. I want to know the findings. Oliver, real shit. I had the police come to my house because I got 10 cameras at my house looking for info because the house was broken into. I told them they not home, and they walked away. They start
watching shit you doing. Like, well, what are you doing with this bag?
Yes, Jamie. Myself, and others like us are just civilians for sure. We are not.
That red lipstick let me know Jamie is a civilian. That red lipstick.
We are not about that life. Ty Prince, they do drive-bys because they cowardly. I do believe that.
That's my sister right there. Y'all go check out the book Caught Up.
All right, Ty Prince, Caught Up. Big facts. Alexis, agree. Adonis, I mean, the cartel's ruthless, but if you don't take out the whole bloodline, they could come back to bet.
The mentality is they're gonna come back and get their lick back.
Yeah. I see. I mean, it's really ruthless, but I understand a little bit. Like I can kind of see all the perspectives regarding this. My perspective is strictly that of a civilian who don't want their kid or myself.
Yeah, I don't want any trouble with it.
Don't come to my house, please. I ain't see nothing, Mr. Nigga. I don't know.
This Mr. Nigga is really funny today. Like that shit.
I don't know.
Mr.
Look,
Nigga.
I don't even talk to half my family. You might as well spare me.
Yeah, that ain't. Like it's my cousin, but it ain't really my cousin. Like we ain't talked since 2 Thanksgivings ago.
Right. I ain't seen her since I was 12 when I went down there that summer.
Right.
Oliver, protect yourself at all times. Got to watch what you say. And you do, because clearly the police are not like we've seen this play out several times. Good people who try to be these good Samaritans try to help. The police do not protect them. So yeah, until their witness protection policies get better, I don't know nothing. Depending on my family, because I just got to protect my family. Like I have to make sure that me helping them is foolproof. Like I need the voice change. I need the voice changer, all of that.
You remember those movies when we were kids? They would have the person's face blurred out.
Yeah,
And they'll lean over for water. They'll lean over for water. Your face is
like, oh, that's so and so from up the street. I know it was how she talked. I need the voice changer and all that. Listen, I'm gonna be like, y'all gotta make sure it don't come back to me.
I seen what happened, but it was black car.
Let me see, Eric. The police only protect their damn selves.
Shit, they having a hard time doing that, Eric.
Kind of told you. Rochelle, they will put them pink folks in whiteness protection. They will. Oh, and witness. She said, "Is it whiteness protection or witness?" She probably meant whiteness protection. That was a play on words, Auntie. Yeah. I get it. I like what you did there.
I see what you did there. I see that.
I see what you did, Alexis. Yes, the book is amazing. Okay, and Adonis. So we get into the end. Watch the Cocaine Cowboys on Netflix and see how quick the G code changed. Oh yeah. I've seen that, and to my understanding, Griselda Blanco was, telling. So
same as so this is happening. It's not saying that it's happening, but just saying that it's not fair. It's not real. It's not the way. Not saying that it's not happening, because you got cats. It's a cat from Hersheywood. I remember being young, and they was like, "Shit, that boy told on his mama." A few years later, she got out the feds. Told on his mama.
On my tea lady.
And his thing was everybody was using him when it was good. He said everybody was using him when it was good.
Well, damn, mama.
So it's happening. Not saying it's not happening. It's the reality. A lot more people are telling them what you think. A lot more people are.
I can't relate to that now. Behind my tea lady, like I might just do some time with him. Just
mama smoke
put
that
somebody
crack
on my books, mama. When I get out, I need for you to put me in the game. Give me a leg
Mr. Niggas told on his mama. Mr. Nigga, that's funny as shit.
Mr. Nigga.
Yeah,
so man, that kind of wraps up the show for today. That was a good discussion, man. So we've all come to the conclusion that one, if you don't want to, if you're gonna tell,
stay in your lane.
Stay on the porch. Yeah. Ain't no nuts dropping.
And you don't have to stay on the porch. Just stay with people that's on the same thing that you own. You know what I'm saying? If a situation come to y'all, then y'all gonna handle the situation. But don't be 6'9" going out trying to. You're an entertainer on stage, so let that stop there. Don't try to be an entertainer in the streets. And
for sure.
You just live the life that you want.
Sit down. But man, thank you for tuning in with us, man. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me and Frank P.
On the Cool Podcast. Say if you haven't, went to YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you can get the updates.
Mm-hmm. And I recently posted our link tree, I believe, on my page as well as the On the Cool Podcast business page. That basically is going to take you to everything. Follow us on IG. We on everything but Twitter right now. So follow us on IG. Join the Facebook group. I get out of Facebook jail next week in 4 days.
It's habitual. She's a habitual offender.
I got 7 days in Facebook jail. It is what it is. I'm used to doing this time. I take it on the chin now. But please feel free to get on our page, follow our group, subscribe. I have access to everything in 4 days.
We definitely appreciate everybody every week, man. We see new people, and we see some of the same people that show us love. We appreciate it. We're still working on the sponsor package right now. We don't.
We still working on that.
We ain't really begging because we hadn't really made any changes.
Well, what you said, even trade ain't no swindle. Even
fact change ain't no robbery, man.
We definitely are gonna put any kind of funds we get towards improving our podcast. We definitely want to do something special on the 20th episode, which is gonna probably be in 8 weeks. Yeah. And we just kind of want to do better. I know y'all see these microphones, so we showing and improving. Because
so we're gonna try to do the 20th episode in person with a few people, a small audience around, long as COVID allows.
We may have to do it on another night, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Get it done
for sure. Hey. So y'all continue to rock with us. Continue to check us out. Any questions, suggestions? Ask OTC podcast at gmail.com. Again, follow us on Instagram, Facebook group, Facebook business page, and YouTube. Subscribe. Everybody subscribe. Share the YouTube page. We definitely want to get our subscribers up there. And we're going to see y'all next week at 7.
Hey, thank you for the love.